and I know you might not know of my content, but I'm always the guy that takes a stand against cancel culture when people have like a mob going after them. If people would give me the information, right, and it's like in a respectful way, I'm never gonna like try to hide that or go with the crowd and anything. And my supporters, they stuck with me the whole time, no matter how much I get canceled. So when I see the receipts of you kind of threatening my supporters, I have to get clarification on that. You told me you changed as a person, you've grown. It looked like you threatened my supporter based on you knowing their personal information.
Yeah.
That seems like a pattern. That seems like a dangerous, scary pattern, Robbie.
Well, are you talking about this Kara chick?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Kara has been very mouthy, and she always, like, even when I came in the chat and said something, she, puts beer emojis or whatever, and it's a scare tactic, and I'll own it.
So, okay, I did state that. So you were trying to scare them from putting beer emojis? You threatened to have the information?
Well, it's a lot more than the beer emojis. It's them just talking about my personal life, and I know nothing about them. There's no possible way to find it just from because I can't click on their channel. It's a scare tactic to be like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Okay. So let me ask for clarification. When you say talking on your personal life, is it stuff that is public information that you put out?
No, like even like going into my husband, and there's a lot of different people that come in your chat. You may not realize this, but like AJ has ran my entire background. That's how she found my address. That's how she called my job, which she says I called hers, and that's false.
I don't know what that is. Like
AJ,
I mean, if they
Chromavault, AJ, aka Audrey, like she's crazy.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. There's a lot of people within the Chroma community, and I'm not really in any community per se. I'm kind of like a pirate.
Neither am I.
In fact, I think you was definitely in the Chroma.
No,
we got to call a spade a spade.
See, BX, you don't watch me because you clearly don't watch me because almost every stream I do, I say I fucking hate that word community because you people rely on money. You rely on all this shit for people to back you, and I don't rely on people to back me. Or I would have shared your fucking stream out and been like, come over here and help me.
Why'd you have Chroma tagged in your channel for years?
I had a lot of different things tagged because I saw that you looked at my topics or tags.
And you changed
when I
them.
started my channel, I had so many different things tagged in there. I had Chris Watts. I had True Crime. You can even pull it up now. I think Chroma's probably in there now. Hot Topics is in there. Like, I don't.
So how do you can't say you hate a word
sometimes? No.
Okay, so you can't say you hate a word or hate a community, but then you're in it.
No, listen. I hate when people use this is a community. This is our community. No, it's not. You're on here as yourself, and if you rely on other people, then you're going to be disappointed when they don't back you when you're wrong. And my friends, when I've gone, and you don't see this, when I've gone on and ranted and cussed people out and stuff, I have very good friends. Like, I don't know if you know who Lokamai is, and there's so many good people that are like, Robbie, take that video down. You're in the wrong. You're mad. If you want to have a private StreamYard, let's do that. Like, people don't see that kind of stuff. And, I explode. I'm a very, I react very easily, and I'm still learning to do that at the age of 41, not 55.
41? I never knew your actual age, but now that you tell me 41.
You'll be 42 in May.
So you do acknowledge that that's an issue. That's something that you should probably work on and not really like put it to or take it to YouTube necessarily every single time if you don't have the emotional maturity or control to not jump to that immediately, right? Because you just said a scare tactic. You just admitted to trying to scare a fan and supporter. And even if they're not a supporter,
but can I be honest? Like, I don't care that I scared her. Like, that was the intent.
Let me finish the statement first. I know that was the intent. I know, but let me...
Would I actually do that? No.
Let me get the... Hold on. Let me get the full statement out. for you to do that to someone who is a fan and supporter, even if you don't consider them a fan of you or a supporter, they're still watching your content, engaging with your content, which is boosting your algorithm, right?
Oh, I don't care about that though.
I understand. But for you to, all right, so let's just boil it down to this. Someone wrote words on your damn
not just
video,
words.
bro.
Like this woman. Oh, hold on. I'm going to pause you.
Let's pull it up. I'll pull it up.
This woman, Kara, has been all over my comment section, all over my friends' comments, like talking about, oh, he's drunk. Oh, his husband cheated on him. He's cheating on his husband. I'm like, where the fuck? First of all,
that don't sound no worse than anything you said about me. That don't sound no worse than anything you said about me.
Listen, it's not words. So when she came in and she started mentioning, and she's like, does your job know about your drinking issue? That's when I was like, oh, bitch. I know who you are, so shut the fuck up. Oh, she does it all the time, BX. Whoever this person is, male or female, they instigate. So finally I was like, bitch, I know who you are. And she finally shut the fuck up.
Let's take some accountability, Robbie. You know your fans not only repeat the stuff that you've said that was worse than that to me, but they also call in to say some of this stuff. Should I threaten them as well?
Both ways, though. I think there's
all right.
a lot of words going both ways.
My question, though, because you cut me off before I can finish, was, should I threaten them now to scare them? Should I try to scare them?
If they're doing evil stuff, yeah. Go ahead.
See, I guess that points out the difference between me and you. I've had your fans call into my stream, argue, say some disrespectful shit to me, call me all types of names, and then be able to call in the next day and us have a peaceful discussion and me say I have no kind of beef or issues. I don't care if someone's a fan of either or, right? Like, I don't take none of this that seriously. And I think that as I guess, adults, and you're older than me, right? Not as like a slight, but I would assume more mature, right? Like you've had more experience in this earth.
No,
right? I've heard you say that.
My humor.
Okay.
You know.
Well, you've had more experience in this life. So I would think that by that age, if you don't have it, like, and I'm not going to even say 100%, but to a point where you don't react in this way or like just let it just roll off your back, right? You have to admit that's kind of crazy, right? Or that's something that you can work on.
Sure. But now this Kara person, and this is why I've always said to them, I'm like, have you ever like been vulnerable and showed your life? Like, where's your face? And that's why I say stuff like that. Cause I'm like, you got a big mouth, but where are you? Like you
said that to me too. And it was
I know.
wrong.
And here you are. You look good. It's fine. Okay. But here's my question though, BX. I don't know if you've seen her comments towards me multiple times, but with her comments that she makes, making digs about like, oh, does your job know this? And saying stuff like that. And you see somebody behind an avatar, they could be anybody. Do you really think that she's not going to get responded at, or he, whoever it is? Like that's an instigating way to talk to somebody.
But we grown and these are just words and it's the internet, man.
Well, that's why I'm like, hey, bitch. We're grown, but hey, you want to talk about my job? I know who the fuck you are, so shut up. And that shut her up real quick.
You're on the stage though, right? Like that's the thing. You're the performer.
And she's not. That's the point.
Like, so that doesn't mean that you're better, but it means that you're upheld to a different standard though. But you're upheld to a different standard though, is what I'm saying. Like jumping down and fighting the audience every show is crazy.
No, I listen though. See, maybe I think you're thinking maybe more in the sense of this being like a stage, and I get that. And, you know, because I like to have fun, but we're all on here conversating together. Like if you're saying that somebody in a chat, their words hold no worth, then you're saying that your chat is shitty. Their words mean nothing. So
because you misinterpreting what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying that their words mean nothing. I'm saying that we are held to a higher standard. If I am a pro boxer and someone from the audience yells whatever, no matter how disrespectful, I shouldn't jump into the audience and start throwing punches with the audience. I'm a pro boxer, fam. You would look at Mike Tyson like he was crazy.
You're not yelling out at them like you're going to call their manager and like get them in trouble. That's what Kara was doing to me. So I was like, okay, bitch, I know who you are. Shut the fuck up. And she shut up. And I was like, okay, done.
Let's try to keep it respectful. We got Kara here to defend herself.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Kara.
Hi, Robbie. I didn't shut up. Are you crazy? I haven't shut up in years. BX asked me not to comment back to you.
Back to me? You commented to me.
No, as in response.
He after you made your last comment to let him take it over. And I respect my creator, and I did. But if you
do you mean in the chat? Because I can't see the chat. I have this StreamYard app.
So say, Rob, she's speaking on in the comment section. Earlier, you said that after you threatened her, she left you alone. She's stating that she left you alone because I asked her to.
Okay, great. That's great. But Kara, where does your aggression come by when you don't even know me? Like hold on. If BX, if we're going to say that chat people are just down below us, why are you
Why
so
do you keep
aggressive?
saying that?
Okay, explain more then. Explain.
All
what
right.
do you think of that?
I'm not saying
to me, she's
us.
on the same level as me. So I'm
saying, all right, so let me break it down to this. Let me break it down to as simple as this. We're gladiators. They're in the audience watching the gladiators fight and compete, whether it's drama, debating, or just performance.
Yeah,
for a gladiator to jump into the crowd and start swinging his weapon at the audience is insane to me. That's what I'm saying. I've used the boxing analogy. I'll use the fucking what's his name analogy as well as for basketball. Ron Artest. I don't think what he did was right, but also the audience was wrong for going too far too. So too far for me, for the audience would be if she actually did any of this stuff.
Oh,
right. That you're accusing, or actually doxed you, or actually did any of this stuff, right? Or maybe even went into a group chat and passed your docs and your personal information to another YouTuber that you were having problems with. To me, that's too far. Kind of like how your fans do. But what she's saying from the audience, like she's not saying anything worse than what you've said to me. So for you to threaten her sounds a little over the top, bro.
When you initiate somebody, though, like, what do you expect? And Kara, let me ask you, like, why did you have to bring up, like, oh, does your job know about this? Can you explain that?
I can, if I have an opportunity to speak.
Give her the floor.
Well, I wasn't speaking. He was.
Give her the floor. You got this, Kara.
You have repeatedly talked about BX, about where he lives, where he doesn't live. Robbie, have you ever thought that the address you had was wrong because that man might have moved? Have you ever moved?
But he didn't, and I know that.
Oh, how do you know that? No, you don't. You do not know that.
Because we looked into it.
And you were wrong. All your information you just admitted was wrong, though, sir.
It's called public record. Like, you don't.
This motherfucker is telling me what I did. That's insane. Okay, I didn't move. All right.
No, I'm not expecting you. You don't have to tell us where you live. But it was a lie.
Many chats about people calling his job.
First of all, I didn't even know he had a job. I didn't know he had a job. First of all, I would never do that. And I did not.
Someone did. And my apology if I mistook it for being you. But you have done so many nasty things to him and said so many hateful things. I was there when you came in on panel messed up.
No, I wasn't drunk that day, you guys. I was pissed.
She has the floor.
Okay, but I wasn't drunk. I was mad.
Explaining myself.
We're going to take turns, man. We're going to take turns.
Okay.
You came on panel screaming and yelling and cussing him out when he was giving you an opportunity to speak like tonight. Tonight you're being civil. I think it's a Christmas miracle, and I'm happy to hear about it. I really am.
Me too.
But if you think you will ever scare me, son, you need to go back to church because that ain't going to happen.
Okay, but Kara, like,
you don't know where I live. And
no, I'm asking you, like, why did you bring up my job, though?
Sit down and have a Bible
study. She told you.
But she brought it up first, is what I'm saying.
No,
so that was a tactic to scare me.
No, it wasn't. Listen, people, I'm gonna hopefully, Kara, tell me if I break this down good enough, right? Because I don't want to misinterpret your words. But pretty much what I said in the beginning is me and my supporters, we ride with each other, right? I said that. Right? They've been with me through hard times. When I get cancer, they see all the nastiness. So she's saying she was there the whole time seeing you do all these things that you admitted to today, but you said that for the explanation, you gave me the reason and all that stuff, but she was there for that. So it wasn't her just throwing some stuff your way for no reason, because like I said, one go to war, we all go to war. She saw you being disgusting to me, so she sent some heat your way. She didn't do anything. She just sent some words your way.
Okay.
Because you did worse to me?
Okay. No, I get that. But first of all, the thing is about admitting the things. Like, I've explained why I've done things.
That's what I said.
But like, in your perspective, it was from like a very devious perspective. But
man,
what
it could have been
I never wanted to see you like harmed. I've been angry, just like Kara. I don't even know you.
I'm saying
I don't want to see you harmed. Bro. I wanted to scare you like away from me, like leave me alone.
Emotion. Yes, that's what I'm. That's my only argument. It's not you. I'm not saying you tried to harm me because you. I'm not saying you tried to harm me because like you literally wanted to see me harmed and all that. I'm saying that from based off of emotions and you going through whatever you're going through, you've done some actions that today you might disagree with. That's my statement, right? So, and that has been my statement from the beginning. I've always said that. Like, every nickname and joke I ever gave was me saying, "Yo, he's being too sensitive. He's being a baby back bitch." 3 B's is what I've been saying. Like, yo, he's being too soft at jokes. I've been saying this since day one. That's my argument. Not that you are so disgusting and that you're trying to harm. It's that out of emotion, you ain't thinking clearly in the moment. That's why I said, yo, you're at a certain age to it now. Can you admit that was an issue and something you need to work on? And you said, yeah. So that's what I've been saying the whole time.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yes.
I'd like to add, Robbie, you give us way too much credit. You go online and millions of people across the world can tune in if they choose. And you take out your personal traumas. You leave yourself open. You become very negative. 1 minute you hate this person, the next minute you love them, the next minute you have a voodoo doll of them, etc., so forth. You were living by mood swings that were dictated by your addictions. And we didn't know that. We don't understand that. We're not all psychiatrists and therapists. You looked for validation.
She's talking about previously.
You did a lot of nasty things.
Yeah.
Some of years ago, back in the day.
Kira, I've seen you say that in chats before. And see, this is why I'm glad that we're actually talking, not just being you, BX, but being Kara, somebody who's just been like in a chat before. I've heard you say that I have a voodoo doll of Miss Portland. That is a crocheted doll of Mrs. Portland that one of my subscribers that's very loving crocheted for me and sent to me because I'm love Miss Portland, no matter if she's mean or nice. She's funny. No, she's very crazy.
No, the doll. No, it might not be a voodoo doll. It might not be a voodoo doll. That shit do look crazy. I gotta keep it real.
It does. It's funny. It's cute.
Wow.
It fits Miss Portland's character, but
Robbie,
it's
that's
not
a great point. You find it funny. You find it adorable, but you're not seeing. You're also sitting out there talking about how you've become this diehard Christian, and you're not seeing how a lot of people might view that as very controversial.
That's another misconception.
Every coin, everywhere you look.
Kara,
if you're not willing to come like you are tonight to talk civilly with us, then why wouldn't we have misunderstandings?
Right.
See, we have misunderstandings because we don't understand each other. We don't listen to each other. I have never said that I'm a diehard Christian. I don't even like to use the word Christian. I tell people all the time, I have a relationship with Christ that I pray, and people still to this day, they say, Robbie ripped up the Bible, he burned it. I did that for a reason because people were attacking me. Okay, I did it on a live stream.
Wait. Hold on, Nick. Oh my God. I got questions before you got to that. Now I got questions for that.
I know.
But the first question was, I thought you was ride or die Christian too. And not because maybe you said it, but you've done multiple live streams holding the Bible up You popping it. Like, are you using that for comedic effect or are you repping Jesus? What's up?
No, you guys, listen, I was raised in a very dysfunctional Christian family that forced it on people. And it was, even when I was little, I was like, this is bullshit. Like, this doesn't feel right. And so when I was, well, I don't put a label. I have a great relationship with Christ that's dysfunctional on my imperfect behalf. And so when my uncle died, when I was about 13 years old of cancer, I remember I went to the bathroom and I cussed God out and I said, fuck you. And you're not even there. So who cares? And he started to, you have those miracles that happen and little signs and stuff where you're like, okay, that's not real. I'm just going to brush it off. And it's built up since then. And I'm 41 now. And so when I hear people throwing the Bible in my face, like Pastor Mill, he got mad at me because I took the Bible and I ripped it up and they said, look at him ripping up the Bible. And they completely misinterpreted it. I said, if you are going to sit there and use this as a weapon and not listen to the words that you're following in that book, then it's just paper. And I ripped it. And they took it as me being satanic and stuff. But no, I'm not. Kara, I know you probably don't listen to me, but I go based off of my relationship, talking to God every day, all day. And that's honestly, what it is.
Robbie,
and it's Christ.
I've listened to one of your streams, and unfortunately for you and me, it was a stream where you started off talking about your 48 hours in the motel room.
Oh, well, that was in my drug days. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I was grossed out.
I'm grossed out by it too.
I couldn't believe somebody would actually go on air and discuss that. I didn't know if you were doing like I don't remember that DJ's name, but a shock jock type thing story.
No, I'm not. I don't do the
then
shock
I realized
jock.
you weren't.
No.
And after that, it was like, oh, okay, toxicity, I'm out. And then I started seeing the reactions you were doing against BX. Now, you can check my subscriptions, I'm sure. And you'll find that the only person that I'm subscribed to outside of like baby monkey channels is BX.
Gang.
Tom McDonald. I don't go to other people's streams because I actually have a life. I have children. I have stuff to do. But scare tactics aren't going to work. I hear something in there, and yeah, I'm going to go defend, but I don't know that you're sober. I don't know that you're drunk. Well,
you guys do know that I drink, right? Like, that's another thing that I hear from you, BX. And I'm like, did he not listen to the whole sobriety thing was I quit drinking. I almost did it for a year so I could quit the gateway part of it into meth. And I did it, and then I snapped, and then I drank, and then I realized that I could ace it. I could drink once in a while and it could be okay. And like, now it's okay. And so when I hear that now, I'm like, wow, these people don't know anything. And that's why, Kara, it's good that we can actually talk to each other, because you've just been words. And
I don't think she said nothing crazy at all, like especially the drinking part. Well, if you drink now, that still doesn't change the fact that you still were not drinking during a certain time. And for whatever reason it was, during that time, I initially ran into you for just calling it out that you were drinking. And I think you actually eventually admitted to it that you were drinking at the time. You relapsed a little bit, right? Which is fine. I'm not trying to judge you off of that. But if all we know is from you
rewind, just wait, what do you mean by that?
At the time,
I was sober for 2 weeks short of a year. And the night that I was in the hotel room and I snapped on everyone, when I met you, that was the first night that yes. And I told people that night, I had beers in my hands. I was throwing them across the room.
The time, that's what I'm saying. At the time, though, I don't know if you remember, you denied that shit for like weeks to maybe even a month. You were saying it was an act. Those wasn't real big, all types of bullshit. And so eventually you did come on and go, okay, guys, I slipped. But before that, you were saying, nope, I wasn't drunk. I didn't drink. I didn't have a drink at all.
Can I correct you real quick? I actually have a video from 2 days after that set on private that's still on my channel that I will send you. And
that's 2 days after, bro. The day where you came to my shit.
But you said that I denied it. I went on that stream and I said, you guys, I'm sorry, I was drunk.
So is it impossible?
I never denied that I was drunk. I had beer cans in my hand.
I'm telling you, fam, if I look back in the archive, fam, like I think in our first conversation, I kept saying that shit like, yo, you was drunk. No, I wasn't. You're lying. I remember the shit. I was like, yo, nigga,
no, you said I was drunk when I came on your panel is what I said.
The only
that I was not drunk.
The only context in any opinion that I ever said.
No,
right. But either way, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Hold on. I think you and I are having a misunderstanding because
I'm trying to.
I never said that night that I relapsed because obviously everybody knows, and me, that was the night that I relapsed. I was drunk.
It was. I know. We all know
I wasn't drunk when I came on your panel because I was not. Just like I told Kara.
Too, bro. This is what the whole shit started. I'm telling you because I had nothing else to talk about when it came to you. The only thing that I spoke about in that one brief clip that you reacted to and got upset about was the fact that you were drunk. I didn't know anything else. People were trying to ask me because I was honest. Do you think he's drunk? And I remember the first time I saw it, I said, yeah, it looked like he had a few drinks, whatever, it was normal. And then the chat explained to me, no, you don't understand. He's supposed to be sober right now. And I was like, all right, that's what. And then you denied it. And then maybe a few days later, you cleared it and then admitted to it. But maybe it was so long ago, you forgot the whole beef between me and you started because I called you out for being drunk. That was all. That's all I ever said about you.
But what night did you call me out for being drunk?
I don't remember. It was just one clip during a live stream where I was reacting to a bunch of Chroma stuff. And they said, yo, you ever heard her say Robbie? I was like, no, who that? And they sent me a clip and said, tell us, do you think he's drunk? And I reacted to it. I was like, yeah, he looked like he's drunk right now. But whatever. And then they explained to me why that was the issue, who you were, and some of your history. And that's what the whole issue started from.
Well, and that's why I was going to say to Kara, like, even Kara, if you watched every single one of my live streams, you wouldn't know who I am. Because when I log off, even my husband's like, oh, why are you more quiet than you were when you were live? I'm like, well, now, because I'm tired. Like, I don't fucking know. But as far as when I had relapsed, and then after that, there was multiple times that I had tried for weeks or days. Oh, sorry. What, Kara?
Excuse me. May I address one thing before you continue? Because I want to hear what you have to say.
Yes.
Speak more.
You and BX just had an exchange, and you mentioned that the next day or 2 days later, you put out another video marked private. You'll send it to him. The problem is back then, do you not understand? He's not a member. He couldn't react to a private video because he couldn't see it. So how could you expect him to know what's in it? He doesn't have ESP, Robbie.
That's a good point. But I set a lot of my videos to private like a year ago. So it wasn't like it, and I don't expect him like to watch everything. So even if it was still public at the time, I didn't immediately set it to private, and it's not for members. Like, it's completely private. And it's because
I'm not a creator, so I don't know the difference.
It's fine. It's fine. It's there, but there's a lot of things from even before that happened, like leading up to even me getting sober before I quit, like for the almost a year. A lot of things I've set to private just so that it's not there anymore to, in case it pops up in the algorithm and people think it's new. Because BX knows, like, there's some things that people will comment and they're like, "Oh, I missed your live." I'm like, "Yeah, you missed it by like 3 years.
Oh my,
that's not new." Don't know.
That's
like,
true.
no, I get what you're saying.
People reviewing stuff, yeah. People review things. They'll go through like the timeline if you're trying to see who someone is. Yeah, that happens all the time to everybody, not just public figures in general.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but no, like what I was saying is, I understand you. You probably thought I never addressed that, but I did, and it was like pretty much immediately after I came to, and I was like, "Wow, you guys, I realized what I said, and I'm sorry." And that video is private now, and I will send it to you if you want, because ever since then I've talked for years. I was like, the night that I relapsed, and people bring it up all the time. I'm like, yes, I know, and I think
for sure,
yeah, and I think what people don't realize
that night. I just think that it was so long ago that you forgot that was the whole issue in the beginning. That's why on my side I was like, what the fuck, nigga? What if you're saying it's true? What's the problem? Like, what did I do wrong? You're into it now. Then I was right. That's why I was so confused.
No, I get that, but like I know the things that I said because I've gone to the private videos and watched what I said. And I was like,
do you realize, though, Robbie, that BX and the Fang Gang didn't find you to go after you? That one of your little friends in your community that was a big subscriber and a huge friend to you? And don't worry, I won't mention her name. She's a genuine person. Came into our chat several times to talk crap about you and turn everybody against you. But yet she went to your little getaway.
Well, I mean, I don't care about that.
But that's I don't how care about all of this people kept evolving. It wasn't just we were like, oh, we're going to be fixated on you.
When you sourcing it, Robbie, you should care, because I've seen multiple of your videos when you talk about me, you're sourcing what people are sending to you, and you're not realizing that people might be instigating, right? Like my first time I ever talked about you was someone bringing in your shit up, sending me the clip and saying, what do you think? Because they know I'm gonna be extremely honest on the spot, I didn't know that. Right? Recently, and this happens all the time. Every time that you might see a random clip of me talking about you and you're like, oh, see, he did a dedicated video. These are all edited stream clips, bro. Like everything, even like the most recent event. I didn't just bring you out the blue. We were talking about something else. One of your supporters came in and started going in and brought your name up. And I made one statement like, nah, actually, this is what happened. And they lost their shit. And then I have a character, which is why when you guys say I'm like angry all the time, it's like, okay, you might not watch me, but I would think after years, you would know that I'm a comedian. And I have a whole character called Garfield where I press a button.
I don't know that. I
have a whole character. So if you ever see me going crazy, yo, bitch, blah, 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 that's a character. And I like all my fans know I press a button whenever it's about to come out. He's mad.
You're not giving me a chance.
I can't really control what he says. Right. So like, that's like when a misconception when people be like, oh, all he does, and I've seen you say, he's just going to laugh and talk over you. And you won't, that's only once you poke that bear enough for me to press that button. Before that is like, all right, let's just talk, blah, blah. All right. And then if I feel like no conversation can be obtained, then I'm going to milk whatever entertainment we can get out of this. If the fans like us going back and forth, then we going to crack jokes back and forth. My only issue is that you went too far. We could have yelled at each other for an hour that first time we talked, and I'd have been fine. We could have talked again the next day like it was nothing. It was once you start saying my government and all that, I'm like, all right, now you're going too far, man. Let's just go back and forth. It's fine. Entertainment. Like when me and Molly go back and forth, Molly used to hit me up. Yo, that was amazing. Yo, put that clip right now. Listen to, like, because she understood the game a different way. Now, y'all might not have the same objectives, right? But still, she understood she still understood the element of me not taking this shit like to personal or so close to heart besides my fans. That's the shit I'm diehard about is my supporters. But when it comes to like beef and drama, nah, man, I'm cracking jokes and just analyzing. If you're wrong, I'm gonna say you're wrong. If you're right, even in multiple times, which no one ever sends you these clips. I've defended you multiple times. I'm like, I'm not really fucking with Robbie, but
nobody ever
that was
sends
wrong.
Positive clips. So
they never do that. But within the whole trauma community and everything I've talked about, whenever there's a case when someone else is wrong and you might be right, whether I like you, don't like you, I'm going to say, yeah, I think that he was done wrong. I hate the Gliver for real. But there's times when he's beefing with certain people and past moderators where I'm like, oh yeah, they clout chaser. They're just trying to use his name to get something. And I don't like him. But it don't matter because this is just content to me. I don't take none of this shit serious. I'm from the Bronx. I don't know if you know about the Bronx, but if you Google a picture of it, it looks like Afghanistan, especially in the 90s. So like this shit is just talking to me. And until people like try to see me with weapons, I don't have no fear. This is just fun. Right. I just wish that people wouldn't take it so personal because that's why I keep making the comparison. It's not to say that we as creators are better than subscribers. It's to say that we have a different standard because some people will see what we do and imitate it. There's people that rock with you. So they see you being okay with shouting out governments and doing certain things. Now they're going to do it. Right. That's not even saying that you're telling people to. But like, I like to try to have a good influence. Like I know my supporters, they like to debate and they're willing to debate back and forth in the comment section. They match energy because that's something I'm proud of that I do myself. Right. Like I try to like instill enough personal traits and like my own personal honor code and morals, like as far as like just not being a scumbag. Right. And that's as far as I can go. I like a good
debate if it's like respectful. And I think that's where a lot of people get mixed up on here because they see people, and I've even seen people and I'm like, oh, they think there's like such a celebrity and they're, above everyone else. And like, I won't even move up to management positions in careers because I don't like being looked at like that. And so when I hear people, I feel like you have like referred to me as being higher than or thinking I'm higher than. And like I am, and Kara, this goes back to my relationship with Christ. I'm an imperfect human, but if people come for me, I'm going to be like, okay, fuck you, bitch. And my problem is I say words I don't mean. I say things intentionally to hurt your feelings. And, I will take accountability for that.
Stop right there.
A lot of those words is you bigging yourself up.
I don't want you to ever waste your breath or your fingers typing to me because, Robbie, I raised 11 children. There's nothing anyone in this world can say to me to hurt my feelings.
Right.
But I have some things to say. First, I wish you all the happiness in the world with your new husband. And I mean that sincerely.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming up here and trying to solve this civilly. Sincerely. And I have a proposition for you.
Okay.
I will stay out of your comment section. I will leave you completely alone. I will keep you and your husband in my prayers, which, by the way, I already have. If you will keep us out of your mouth in a derogatory way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. Is that a solution everybody can live with on this panel?
That is a beautiful solution that I love. Yeah.
I get down with the Fang Gang. That's what my loyalty is to my supporters. As far as me just creating content, if I see something, I'm just going to cover it. I just think that Robbie doesn't need to take it so personally. It's not me trying to make a personal attack. And at any time,
and I'm just saying the personal shots.
Yeah,
that's like again, or you start doxing again. Yeah, I'm going to be back up in the comments section. I just that's just the way it is. Strong.
It's Fang out here.
Well,
man.
And also, I think just talking to each other, and this is why people they continue, and this is why I get so angry at people. Because I'm like, are you not working it out and talking to me because you want content? And it confuses me because
that's you taking the content too personal, bro. That's you taking it too personal. Like just because somebody does a video on you does not mean that like they hate you as the end of the world. On Christmas, multiple people have been talking about me. I don't give a fuck. It's fine. If I want to use it for content, I'll talk about it. But other than that, it's part of the game, bro. Like,
no, I completely get that. No, I get that. But with me, it's just like I was raised in a home where communication was not taught to me. So in my early 20s and through my 30s, I had to teach myself communication. And other people, like my friends and stuff, taught me that. And so when I finally got to a point where I'm like, okay, now I know, like, if I have an issue, you just say it. And, you know, if the other person, like, okay, it's fine if they don't want to talk about it. But then why do they keep talking about it? And then it's fine if they talk about it and work it out. I'm that type of person now that I've, you know, grown into my 40s since, you know, my childhood. And I think that's why it frustrates me more, because it goes back to remembering the times with my mother, who's been on YouTube and instigating and stuff, and just not talking it out. And a lot of people, you know, and I get that, BX, they'll say, well, we don't have to talk it out. We're just commenting about you. And I'm like, okay, well, I respect that, but why can't we just talk about it? I guess is more my frustration.
That's entitlement. Like, you don't have to.
No, I'm not entitled to that, though. That's nothing I deserve. I think it's something both parties deserve. It's not about myself. It's about both people coming to a resolution. So that's definitely a misinterpretation, because I like to work things out, not just for me.
You should watch TV more, man, because there's so many TV shows and sitcoms that have the solution to your problems that you would have.
I'm not a liberal. I don't watch TV.
I'm not a liberal either, but I love TV. In fact, I have a television channel where I call out liberal media. So check it out. I'm roasting the fuck out of liberal media.
Definitely got to check that out.
The sun is rising where I'm at, and my eyes are falling down. So,
well, it was really good talking to you, Kara. Thank you for
you too. Glad to have worked it out. BX, bang gang all day.
All day. I appreciate you.
No, I'm kidding.